Part two, sorry we had some technical difficulties. Being alone is not the natural human condition. I could show you from Psukim and from Gemaras. Lo tova yosa adam levado. From the beginning of Bereshis, God said it's not good for a human to be alone. Tovim ashnayim ana echad. Two people are better than one because if one falls, someone else will be there to pick him up. Ish Yisrael ya'azoru. Each one will help each other. Li'achiv yomar chazak. And if you're there for someone, you can say to him, be strong. There's a Gemara in Shabbos that talks about, I'm not going to get into it right now, but talks about certain things, and people in wearing, they'll be embarrassed. And Tosfos says, yeah, because the embarrassment of not being able to be with people is perhaps the greatest pain in the world that anyone has to endure. And of course, part of that is not just you're embarrassed that people see you, but that you have to be alone. Not easy. Not at all easy. But it's got to be done. You should not be sharing Siddur. Older people, singles, yeah, it's hard for them to be alone. And let me just be clear. I'm not talking about someone that has suicidal ideations. I'm not talking about someone that has such severe anxiety at being alone. I'm not talking about someone who's ill and struggling, and if they're alone, they're going to literally give up, and that'll be the end. If there are situations like that, you talk to the doctor, you talk to therapists, you talk to people who know. Maybe you leave you leave a phone on so that you can keep an eye on them. Let's leave that extreme, which is serious, but let's leave that out of this discussion. It's hard. People are already alone. It's hard for them to be alone, especially Yom Tov. But we'll make it through. You have to. Talk to them before. Spend extra time on the phone with them before. Maybe if you're out for a walk on Yom Tov, which again, going out for exercise, if you do it right, you should do, especially if it's a nice day. So stop by. Don't go inside. Don't even go on the porch. Just say hello through a closed storm door. Wave to a window just so they know you're there. And they'll make it through 3 days. Seder alone is weird. Okay, it's weird. The Gemara contemplated it. The Gemara said, if you have nobody to ask you the questions, you ask yourself. But it's necessary. Do not get together for Shabbos meals. Do not get together for Siddurim. Do not get together for socializing. Don't be a chacham. Just stay inside. Whether it's another 30 days or less or more. Again, the point Dr. Fauci made over and over again, and it's obvious, there are encouraging signs. It's entirely possible, no guarantees, that if we fight the virus by staying inside and stopping the spread, it's entirely possible that we can flatten the curve and win it and have the carnage be less than perhaps it will be. But now's not the time to step off the accelerator. If you use a sports metaphor, there are so many teams, they're very good, but they let go, they let up, and then they lose because you got to play the whole game. We have to keep going. If you had to pick an inopportune time for this, I guess this is, if not the most inopportune time, it's one of the top 2 or 3. But in life, we don't get to pick what happens. We only get to pick how we deal with it. So please, please, be smart. And if you need a pep talk, give me a call. I'll give you a pep talk. Again, I got a message from a nurse, frantic. She had to treat a patient, and she didn't have the right equipment, and she's not sure if it's positive, and she's not sure she brought it home. We owe it to them to do our part. Hard, yes. Doable, yes. Do it. Be smart. Don't think you can make an end around. Don't have guests. Don't have play dates. Don't have socializing. Certainly not guests from out of town. Do not travel. Just stay in place. You'll make it through. And with God's help, somehow we'll get through this, and we'll be able to look to better times ahead.